Good morning, fellas, and welcome back to Me Plays Games, the show that somehow has yet to do a Sonic episode. My name is Matt, and today we're going to be looking at the speedrun for Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Genesis. Although, if you go on speedrun.com, the first console it lists is the GameCube. Alright, scratch that. Today we'll be looking at the speedrun for Sonic the Hedgehog for the Nintendo GameCube. Blah. I feel like I should be thrown in the slammer for that sentence. Anyway, leave a comment letting me know if you'd like to see other Sonic games on the show, and subscribe to Me Plays Games for more speedrunning content. I also do Rubik's Cube speed solving videos, and I'm in the middle of a series of world record history videos on every official event. A ton of the info in this video came from former world record holder Fozon's Sonic 1 guide here on YouTube, so shoutouts to him. Keep in mind that this isn't a tutorial, but rather a general overview of the run. I'll mostly be talking about the most important and/or interesting stuff. For more info, I'll leave Fozon's playlist walking you through the speedrun in the description. You can also find our Discord server down there. Alright, let's get started. Today, we'll be taking a look at the glitched category, because glitches are fun. The world record belongs to JoeyBaby69 with a time of 9 minutes, 2 seconds. Well, sorta. He actually beat the game in a little over 14.5 minutes, but Sonic the Hedgehog uses different timing rules compared to most other games. Instead of ranking speedruns based on real time, you add up the in-game time for every level. That's because the faster you finish a level, the more bonus points you get. But these bonus points take a long time to count down, so if runners used real time, it would sometimes be faster to wait a few seconds at the end to get a smaller bonus. You know how they say sometimes you gotta spend money to make money? Yeah, on Sonic you gotta go slow to go fast. Or at least you would if they didn't change the timing rules. The first thing to make note of is a fast acceleration trick used at the start of each level. Runners will hold left at the start of the level, then start pressing right and jump, since you accelerate faster while jumping as opposed to running, especially after changing directions. Green Hill Zone Act 1 is a pretty straightforward level, but there are a couple parts to make note of. The most important things runners have to learn for this level is loop jumps. Instead of running straight around this loop, you can jump in the bottom right corner, then again in the top left corner to go straight up, then straight down. Typically, runners will do 2 loop jumps and aim for a time of 25 seconds on this level, but 24 is possible with a third jump. Less than 30 people in the world have ever pulled off a 24 though, and the third loop jump is typically reserved for individual level runs as opposed to full game ones. The second thing to make note of is this jump over the slope after exiting the tube. Sonic 1 has a speed cap that limits Sonic's speed if all of the following are true. Sonic isn't rolling, he's not jumping from a roll, you're holding forwards on the controller, and Sonic is above the maximum run speed while on flat ground. In order to bypass the speed cap and stay above the normal maximum speed after the tube, runners won't hold any direction after coming out of it. Eventually you'll be below the speed cap though, at which point you should start holding right again. One thing you might notice is that Joey has this display down here showing all his inputs. You also might notice that he tends to press 2 or 3 buttons every time he jumps. That's because it's a good luck charm. That's because there are plenty of places where you have to jump on a specific frame, so pressing a button on 3 frames in a row increases your chances of hitting the right one. In Green Hill 2, Joey performs a zip to trigger a level wrap. Next up is Green Hill 3, yeah, I'm just messing around, I'll explain zips and level wraps. Joey jumps off this buzz bomber to get stuck on the wall. When this happens, the game's collision detection basically flips the D-pad around. If you press left, the game will push you to the right at a high speed and vice versa. And now things get funky. A zip is when you press a direction while you're stuck in the wall, which causes you to move in the opposite direction much faster than normal. By pressing right towards the beginning of the level, you perform a level wrap. If you go far left enough, Sonic's x-coordinate will become a very large positive number instead of a negative one, sending him to the end of the level. Okay, now it's on to Green Hill 3. Early on in the level, runners will pick up the invincibility and speed shoes power-ups, and basically bounce across the top of the level until the boss fight against Robotnik. You can get most of the hits you need without hitting the ground, but you should be sure to tap right every once in a while to stay on top of him as long as you can. In the world record, Joey hits Robotnik 7 times before falling off and jumping up to hit him one last time. Another thing we should talk about is the game's slope mechanics. If you jump while running up a slope, you'll go slightly higher, and jumping while running down a slope will give you a lower jump, but you'll gain some speed. So both types of jump have their uses in this game. Next up is Marble Zone. Act 1 features approximately 8 seconds of standard platforming. We are now done playing Marble Zone properly. Runners will turn around here and do a zip. Once they're in the wall, press right and pause at the same time, hold left, unpause, then release left within a few frames. Pausing can be used at several other points in the run to make frame perfect and near frame perfect inputs easier. You need to make sure to time a jump before the camera catches up to Sonic, otherwise he'll just run straight into a wall. Joey doesn't quite get the right inputs while he's off screen, so the wall spits him out lower than it normally would, costing him a little bit of time. Marble 2 features another level wrap, and it's also easier to perform than the Marble 1 wrap. Runners will stand on the leftmost pixel of the first moving platform and wait for it to move down. Once it's low enough, tap right, then jump on the very next frame. To make this easier, you can use 3 fingers to press all 3 jump buttons in quick succession, a technique known as piano rolling or pianoing. Sending my condolences to the goalpost. Next up is Marble 3, which features a similar level wrap to Marble 2. This time you're clipping into a wall to the right of the first moving platform, then starting the zip when the platform is at its highest point. You have to jump 3 frames later so you can piano roll all 3 jump buttons again, hoping to get one on the right frame. This time the level wrap takes you to the boss fight. Here we see Joey get 2 hits on Robotnik on the right side of the arena, then 3 on the left, and finally 3 more back on the right. If you count the boss fight, Marble Zone contains a whopping 18 seconds of normal gameplay. There's also an alternate strat for the boss fight where you collect 1 ring before the level wrap. This allows you to get the last 6 hits on the left side of the arena, then damage boost off the lava in the middle. This only saves 1 second though, so it's not the worst thing in the universe if you don't go for it. After that nonsense, Spring Yard Zone actually functions properly for the most part. This jump in Act 1 off the upside down ramp is tight, since you want to jump off as late as possible, then get down to the spring. Ideally, you'd finish this level before your speed shoes run out. Act 2 starts by jumping left into the edge of the level, which sets your subpixels to 0. For those of you who don't know, subpixels are often used in video games to keep track of your position. This allows the game to be more precise than the pixels we can actually see and distinguish from each other on screen. 2 frames could look identical at first, but Sonic might be on a different subpixel. Setting it to 0 is important here because when you do that, then don't hold any directions on this straightaway. This bumper here will bounce you straight up. Boink. The spiked balls in the middle here are cycle-based, so where they'll be depends on how fast you do the first section of the level. Joey runs under the first one, then jumps over the second one, but you'll get different cycles if you're slower. Spring Yard 3 is also cycle-based, so in order to get the right cycle, runners will jump backwards to hit the left edge of the level, then start moving forward normally. Remember how I said this zone functions properly for the most part? Yeah, key phrase here is for the most part, because it's time for another zip. Runners use this moving platform to clip into the wall, then do about 100 trillion inputs and get spit out halfway through the level. Dispose of Robotnik again and it's on to Labyrinth Zone. In Act 1 you can stand on the edge of this platform, and as long as Sonic is in his teetering animation, you won't take damage from the spikes up top. On this small moving platform, Joey gets Sonic into his teetering animation again on the right edge, jumps slightly left, then holds right again in midair to land on the platform, and jump forwards with as much momentum as possible. After getting thrown around by the water currents, you need to slow down a tad to make sure you don't get hit by these enemies. Labyrinth 2 features some cycle-based elements as well, but if you get to these spiked balls fast enough, you can just slip under them without them causing any problems. It's important to fall on the right side of the switch without activating it. That way you can hit it to move the platform on the left, then stand on the platform to let it push you into the wall. And done. Level's over, you just zip to the end from here. Be sure to hold right to activate the speed cap though, otherwise you'll go right past the goalpost without activating it. At the start of Labyrinth 3, it's a good idea to jump up and grab these rings. They're the only ones on your path through the level, and they only cost you a fraction of a second. Once again, this act features a long level wrap. Collecting rings allows you to damage boost onto this moving platform and land on the leftmost pixel. This zip is also dependent on Sonic's subpixels. If you get bad subpixels, you actually have to go for a backup strat. This level wrap saves about 45 seconds over playing the level normally, and about 450 seconds over me playing the level normally. But this glitch is also the most difficult one in the run. If you look at the leaderboards, you'll notice some massive gaps between the top times. Joey and Fozon are first and second, then Zaxxon96 is in third place. All 3 of them did the Labyrinth 3 level wrap in their runs. In 4th place is Flower, another 43 seconds behind Zaxxon. The difference in time basically just comes down to the fact that Flower didn't do the level wrap and played the level normally. Starlight Zone is great. All 3 acts have level wraps. In Act 1, you stand on the leftmost pixel of this platform to clip into the wall. This is also subpixel dependent, so runners will have to tap left a few more times to get inside. This is difficult because the platform has fallen to make a staircase while you set the clip up. In Starlight Zone 2, your goal is to clip into this wall, which you can do by hitting this spring, pressing down to roll, and jumping to collect the last 2 of these 3 rings. That should line you up to get into the wall. Joey beats this level in a cool 11 seconds. Back in the day, you just kinda tried it and hoped for the best, but Chubbis came up with the setup you see here to get it consistently. Starlight 3's level wrap is a little bit further into the act than the other 2. Hey nice, we got in 7 seconds of playing the game normally. The jump into the seesaw at the start is deceptively difficult. Fozon describes it as one of the hardest things to hit in this game. Shoutouts to him, by the way, as well as Joey and Zaxxon for reading through my script. Joey beats Robotnik here with a combination of the spiked balls and him jumping up himself. You can only jump up to hit him if you jump off the seesaw platforms within 1 frame of landing on them, so this fight is tricky. In Scrap Brain Zone 1, the game breaks again. Lovely. This time, Joey takes advantage of the slope glitch. By panning the camera up on this platform until it's off screen, the game basically sets itself on fire right in front of you. From now on in this level, whenever you land on the ground, you can keep running at the same angle indefinitely, allowing you to run horizontally and diagonally in the air. Eventually, you make it to this bit where you zip forwards and that's basically the level. Next up is Scrap Brain 2, where Joey does another level wrap. He does a frame-perfect jump onto this wheel and spins around it 5 times. On the 5th lap, you need to do a frame-perfect jump into this wall, then do the zip. You're probably wondering where the goalpost is here, and the answer is directly below Sonic. The post hitbox actually extends vertically forever, so as long as you pass above it, you beat the level. Neat. After the level, you have to do a precise clip to get back in bounds, otherwise you'll head into Robotnik's room and soft lock. Scrap Brain 3 basically doesn't exist. Joey uses the slope glitch here, then zips into the final zone. And that's essentially the game. Hit the pistons to take out Robotnik one last time and that's it. It is worth noting though that the pistons always move in the same order if you spam pause while you run in. Well, there it is fellas. That's how Sonic the Hedgehog can be beaten in under 10 minutes. Leave a comment if you'd like to see more Sonic videos. If this video is out on time, today should be Sunday, August 29th, in which case today is Dash's birthday. He's been in our videos about Mario Kart Wii, Pokemon X, and Pokemon Crystal, and sometime soon he'll be back for Pokemon Emerald. Leave a comment wishing him a happy birthday. It's good for the YouTube algorithm. If it's not the 29th, wish him a happy birthday anyway. I'll see you all in the next one. Good night fellas, sleep well.